On February 3, 1888, for the second time, Rizal sailed to Hong Kong as a frustrated being who wanted the utmost reform in his native land. During his stay in Hong Kong, a British colony, Rizal wrote a letter to Blumentritt, expressing his bitterness. He also described Hong Kong as a small but very clean city. Many Portuguese, Hindus, English, Chinese, and Jews live in it. There are some Filipinos, the majority of whom being those who had been exiled to the Marianas Islands in 1872. They are poor, gentle, and timid. Formerly, they were rich mechanics, industrialists, and financiers. After almost 3 weeks, on board the American steamer Oceanic, he left Hong Kong on February 22 and sailed to Japan, where he was invited by Secretary Juan Perez Caballero to live at the Spanish legation. His instinct told him that it was a bait, a way for the Spanish officials to keep track of his activities. And since it was economical to stay at the legation, and he believed that he had nothing to hide, he accepted it. Rizal was impressed by the scenic Japan and had keenly observed the life, customs, and culture of the people. The things which favorably impressed Rizal in Japan were the beauty of the country, the cleanliness, politeness, and industry of the Japanese people, the picturesque dress, and the simple charm of the Japanese women. There were very few thieves in Japan, so that the houses remained open day and night, and in the hotel room one could safely leave money on the table. Beggars were rarely seen in the city streets, unlike in Manila and other cities. He had fallen in love not only with the view, but more to its women, particularly with a 23-year-old Osei-san, aka Usue Seko. Rizal saw in lovely Osei-san the qualities of his ideal womanhood: beauty, charm, modesty, and intelligence. No wonder he fell deeply in love with her. Osei-san reciprocated his affection, for it was the first time her heart palpitated with joy to see a man of gallantry, dignity, courtesy, and versatile talents. Rizal was almost tempted to settle in Japan with Osei-san, but on April 13, 1888, Rizal boarded the English steamer Belgic bound for the United States, reaching the land on April 28. He visited San Francisco, left it on the second day for Oklahoma, then to Sacramento, then to Reno, and finally to New York. Rizal had good and bad impressions of the United States. The good impressions were the material progress of the country as shown in the great cities, huge farms, flourishing industries, and busy factories. The drive and energy of the American people, the natural beauty of the land, the high standard of living, and the opportunities for better life offered to poor immigrants. One bad impression Rizal had of America was the lack of racial equality. On May 16, 1888, the ship City of Rome sailed for Liverpool, and where he decided to stay in London until March 1899. Rizal chose to stay in London so that he could improve his English skills, study, and do an annotation of Antonio Morga's Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas. And because Rizal believed that the said English city was a safe place for him to carry on the reforms he wanted for the Philippines, he stayed at Dr. Antonio Maria Regidor's home and boarded at the Beckett family, where he fell in love with Gertrude Beckett.